Hi, John Myers back here again, and tonight I have a special guest,
Shelley Myers.
my
Hello.
wife. And this talk tonight is going to be a little different than the ones that I've done because, of course, I vary it all the time. But as you know, part of my identification in life currently is that I am part of a worship leading team. My wife is the other leader, and we lead a Friday night worship at our church. And it's got, electric instruments and everything. It's great Christian music. And we've been doing that for a long time, involved with that organization. It is a recovery ministry called Celebrate Recovery. And we're honored and humbled to be there serving. And we do it almost every week, and it really keeps you on the ball. And it takes a lot of planning.
Hones your skills.
Yes, people skills too. The idea is you're worshiping. We're going to talk all about that. But to get there, there's a lot of computer work. There's picking the songs. There's charts, figuring out who's going to play and what teams work best together and who's even available on that week. We have about 20 people that we rotate around. We have vocalists and
having backup and completely changing the plan if you need to at the last second.
Yeah, and someone says, I don't want to do it in that key. And it's like, I don't want to even do that song. And it's like, oh my gosh. So we have 2 practices on a Monday, and then we play on Friday. And it kind of keeps you on the ball. And I mentioned that on a previous video. When you have something that you have to do every week, it's kind of like being like a teacher in a school. You're expected to show up and boom, you got to do what you got to do. Or an actor who's going to be in a sitcom that films every week. You got to be ready with everything. So we do a lot of practicing, and we do a lot of teamwork too. And we have learned how to work pretty well together on getting all the nuances and
that takes practice.
Shared responsibilities. Criticism is not a big part of what we do. Trust me.
And no mansplaining.
No mansplaining. That's right. So, Shelley, what part do you do for the worship?
So I do the vocals, and I help to get everybody organized and hopefully singing together in unity versus trying to oversing each other.
So we're bringing up talent. We're working with people that maybe haven't done much. Some have. And we're honing their skills, and we're finding out. We've been upgrading the sound equipment and the stage equipment also. And every time you do that, it's a learning curve for everybody. We actually use iPads and what's called in-ears, and we all direct our own mix, personal mix, what we want to hear to our own ears. It's different than what the audience or congregation is hearing. And that's a skill in itself. You got to dial in all the instruments just like you want. So but that's been fun and challenging also. But I would like to take a minute. Our Christian life is very important to us. It's the thing that's fundamentally changed our marriage, our relationship, my life, my wife's life, our children. And it's been a long slog at times. We've been married 36 years and, been going to church all that time, but really not always living the life that I needed to live all that time until the last couple of decades. And it's still, I'm a work in progress, right? It's progress, not perfection. So what I want to say about worship is when I worship, when I'm playing the music, it's a high. It's an experience. It's uplifting. It's challenging. It's rewarding, and the Holy Spirit is present. And the stage is like an altar. It's like an altar, if you can imagine that. And you're bringing your best to that altar. You don't want to defile it, right, in any way. There is an emotional aspect to it. There's a overused word, spiritual aspect to it also, because there's a spirit that moves through. You kind of sometimes play with one hand, it seems, all the musicians. And, you're allowed to make mistakes. Stuff happens, right? You're only human. But the the tenor of the worship, when it really goes off well, is that it's almost like the music plays itself and the congregation is totally involved and they're standing up, sometimes dancing in the aisles. Mm-hmm. And that's rewarding because you see that there's an effect happening. And the reason we worship, talk about Revelations, Shelley, about what happens in the last book of the Bible.
Oh, it's everlasting singing before the throne of the Lord. Holy, 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 3 times holy, because God is 3 times holy, perfection, and worthy of all of our praise for all of eternity. So it's just a little snapshot of what we do here on the earth, and what we do at Celebrate Recovery is really amazing too, because we've been in lots of different genres, singing, and sometimes it's worship, and sometimes it's been for other just productions and things. And the difference that we have in Celebrate Recovery is that we have a lot of people who are coming from the recovery program who have maybe made mistakes in their life or had mistakes made towards them and have been kind of beat up and feel, not a lot of self-confidence, but yet they may have a gifting that the Lord gave to them. And that's something to do with worship and music. And so it's a lot of more humble people, and we come together, we meet them where they're at, and we welcome them, and we help to build that confidence and healing in a genre of praising God in gratitude for what he's doing in their lives and the places that he's taking them as far as their recovery. So it's kind of a whole different aspect to it, because it's people who are walking out their walk, dedicating their lives to the Lord, letting him be in charge of their lives, because even the first 3 steps of the recovery program is that understand that this life is beyond our control. And the second step is that there is somebody who is in control of all things, and that's God himself. And the third step is we need to surrender our lives to the one who created us and has a greater purpose for us. And so what happens is you get a lot of gratitude in that room, and a lot of people who have surrendered their lives and are walking the walk and talking the talk, and real honest people. And when they come to worship, it's a whole different thing, like what John's talking about. It's people who've been in bad places and seen what God has done and how he's wiped the sin away and made them white as snow, and he can totally restore all things, whether it's dead like Lazarus in a tomb, stinking 3 days and come out alive or not. It's a whole different thing.
So you might recognize those first 3 steps as the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. So our program is built on that program, which was built on biblical principles. Anyway, who knows Alcoholics Anonymous and has studied that, they know the higher power was originally, God himself. It's a little watered down today, in AA, and I love AA, and I've been to thousands of meetings. And if you need to go somewhere, if you have addictions, if you have heavy-duty codependencies, hurts, habits, or hang-ups, we just do it from a Christian standpoint, where Jesus Christ is our higher power.
If you really want to get something done, go to Jesus. Go to the source.
Yeah, so,
Amen.
that if this isn't for you, this video, it's okay. But it's just where, this one is where we're coming from, so that you understand. But there's a lot of people there that are helped. And the reason why, there's, I don't need a program like that, or that's for weaklings. I'll tell you what, okay, fine, I'm weak. And I need daily and weekly surrounding with community.
Yeah,
so
and in that fellowship, it builds the confidence. It really does build the confidence, and it helps people to get that sobriety and get some time.
I like to say it's worked for me, and I'm talking about things that on these videos that I've already done that work for me, right? They're not guessing games or approximations or somebody else's ideas, or they're our ideas or our ideals. They're things that we follow, and worth sharing. Really, remember that I was challenged by a good friend, Travis Brohawk Ninja, to do videos, and he said people over 50 need to do videos. Well, I'm over 50. I won't speak for her, but we have a little bit of experience, and tried and true. Trust me, tried and true. So, anything else you want to leave us with tonight on this, or are we put this one to bed? Put it in the can, as they say. Are we good?
It's just worship is something that really grows you and fills you up while it puts you in proper perspective and alignment with your Creator. So it's a great place to be, and we enjoy it very much, and we feel privileged to be able to do it, and to be able to do it together is really nice.
Thank you for being my first guest star
I know, you had to drag me
on
in
the
here.
series. Yeah, it's cold. It's late at night. We're out in my
shed.
office. We call it the shed. All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Good night.